Right now, I'm back home. Head coach of Dan Quinn, they called me. Yeah, picked up my whole family. Got mom, dad, aunties, uncles, fiance, my two best friends here. It's a blessing, man. It's a great feeling.
Hey, Jaylin, when you transfer and you go to Virginia Tech, is this kind of like the day you're envisioning? That's why you do something like that, and is this about where you thought you might go?
Oh yeah, of course, man. You always, aim for the highest, man. Being NFL player has been a dream since I've been a kid, and making that decision to transfer was, ultimately to, elevate myself so I can, continue to challenge myself so I can get to the be an NFL caliber player. And I told myself it don't matter what round, what day I go undrafted, man. All I need is my foot in the door and just an opportunity. So I'm blessed.
And obviously, having speed is important, but what do you think makes you a good returner in addition to that?
I think my confidence and I protect the ball. Just being back there, I feel like I can make any play and any catch, and ultimately take it to the crib. That's what you want to do as a returner. And so yeah, being back there, I'm just very confident, and I feel like I'm gonna be able to help, score some touchdowns in the return game for the Commanders.
You think you're going to be okay playing receiver for Jaden Daniels?
Oh, I think I'm gonna be 100% okay with that. Yeah, that's it's really exciting, man. Just watching what he's done through college and last year's rookie season, and it's crazy. Like Terry, is one of my favorite receivers. Debo, he's a South Carolina native. So this is a dream come true, man.
When did you kind of feel that Washington was a team that might be interested in you during this process?
I mean, yeah, they showed some interest. A lot of teams showed interest, but like Coach Ingram, he came and visited me after pro day, and Coach Andre, and it was just it's just been a blessing, man. And just talking to Coach Ingram, man, I'm excited, man. I'm ready to hit the ground running.
Can you share a little bit of insight on how growing up around the game the way you have has kind of shaped you as a player?
Yeah, man. Just coming from a football family, everybody in my family played football, and my dad being a high school football coach, just I've just been embraced in football just my whole life, and just being around it and growing up, I've just found the love for the game, watching his players, older guys. At a young age, I had so many different role models to look up to, positive role models, and I feel like that helped me shape, become the man who I am today.
Jalen, after spending the last couple years in Blacksburg, knowing you're kind of just coming up the road to Ashburn now in Northern Virginia, I mean, just how nice is that to stay in this area specifically?
It's definitely great. It's not too far away from family for one. And Coach Brooks, who's at Virginia Tech, he's a big Washington guy. So he already called me. I'm gonna have to call him back, but I know he's gonna be excited. And it's already a lot of Washington fans in that Virginia Tech area. So I know they're happy. So yeah, it'll be cool.
Jalen, you mentioned Debo Samuels being a South Carolina native, but you know your wide receiver coaches as
Yep.
well.
Yeah, Coach Ingram, he's a South Carolina legend, man. So yeah, it's South Carolina, I feel like, we kind of slept on when it comes to, producing athletes, specifically football players. So, having a team, with guys who represent South Carolina in the right way, and, coaches as well, I think it's a big deal. And I'm excited.
Hey, Jalen, what has been some things that your dad has said to you in helping prepare you for this moment?
Man, my dad says so many different things. But one thing that always sticks with me, he says, never let anybody put a lid on you. Just meaning that, the sky isn't even a limit for you. You can go farther than the sky if you want to. So, never let anybody give you any limitations. You work for it and you can achieve it.
If you want something else.
How would you describe your game as a receiver for Commanders fans who maybe haven't seen you play?
Yeah, I feel like I'm fast and versatile, man. I played a lot, a slot in my career, played a lot of outside in my career, and I feel like I can do both at a high level. And that's what I plan to bring to Washington. And I want to bring explosion, and with that, and just be a reliable target for Jaden.
Hey, Jaylin, congratulations to you. Did you watch any Commanders games last year or get a chance to just check them out at all? What did you think about their last season?
Man, I think their last season is setting them up for a special one, or setting us up, my fault, for a special one this year. Just watching them, just compete. And, I think, you got a special team when, special moments happen, like the Hail Mary and, them going to the NFC Championship. You got a special team when you create special moments. And, I think, what Coach Dan Quinn and the staff's doing is, amazing. And I know we're going to build off that. I'm ready to hit the ground running.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Where did you take the biggest jump as a receiver going from Middle Tennessee to Virginia Tech?
Honestly, I'd say my confidence got a big boost. Like, I've always been a confident guy, but I played at Middle Tennessee. I worked my way to become, one of the best players on the team. Had a good season my last year there, and my pops, he always tells me you got to continue to challenge yourself, and that's kind of ringing through my head as I decided to enter the portal. And I'm going into Virginia Tech team with Daquan Felton, Ali Jennings, other guys coming in. So it's like, if I want to, kind of stamp myself and become one of the best players on the team, I got to work. And, I feel like me building up that confidence and work ethic even harder, helped me become who I am today.